Hello, ladies and gentlemen, LMG here. Welcome to a review and breakdown of Wild West Dynasty. My thoughts on it, I've done a full playthrough, covered it during early access on and off for about 45 hours-ish. And, my honest recommendation, on a caveat that the price right now, it's on sale for like 16 bucks, which like 15 bucks. I can feel it enough. Like I said to many other viewers, I have enjoyed my time in it for what it is. Based on a couple caveats. That, it's going to be kind of a wonky time. Things will not work quite well. I did start a new run after the 1.0 full release. And why I do believe they went on full release is kind of because you're just try to get it done. Try to get that full release 1.0 out. Get some extra sales in. Try to recoup some of the costs. Because at the end of the day, this was kind of a big fail, unfortunately. Right after Medieval Dynasty did so well. This was kind of the next Dynasty, well, after Farmers Dynasty as well. That one did pretty good, too. But then they had Wild West Dynasty. A game I really was looking forward to, but when it launched, it kind of looked like a PS2 game. Let's ride around and look around the town. You will notice the AI is pretty bad. They basically run around. Sometimes they run around in circles. Occasionally they do work. The town is semi-functional. We'll get that in a second. We'll just give you a look around. Like, graphic-wise, they did do a major overhaul. It looks far prettier than it was. It was pretty kind of like sloppy PS2 era when it came out. It was just an ugly game. And I never like to be mean to games, but it was pretty ugly. Now it is better looking, but also in a weird way somehow less functional. Like, I swear the questline was better and everything worked better back then. Now everything kind of works, but it doesn't. And this could be bugs, etc. So everyone's thing will vary. But I've never had anybody leave the village, and I've never had them really eat any of the food that's in storage, or the pantry, or the water, or anything. They never use it. It's very odd indeed. Likewise, overheating really didn't kill our character, but freezing would. We did put on the survival aspect. They do have a lesser mode if you don't have to deal with the weather and stuff. It's not really a big deal. And also, weirdly, on the other cabinet, on a con side, you never shoot another person in this game. Ever. It has the standard wolves, the coyotes, boars, maybe some bison, that sort of thing. Map size, let's also go on to that as well. Pretty decent size. But the problem is, there's not a lot on it. And this whole map interface is weird anyway, because, like, Hope isn't highlighted on the map. But if you can find it if you really zoom in. That's weird, right? You put one marker, but it's got a big map size, but there's not a lot to do with it. And there's some places that they've just made that there's never anything going on there. Maybe it was in the story earlier and they just took it out and maybe they didn't finish it. But there's buildings like there's a Dolly's farm up here, which I don't think we ever had anything to do with. Roger's house, the guy who runs that, but yeah, it's just some kind of weird stuff. Settlers out there, but so it's got enough stuff that you can build various towns, and I've actually built a second one. We'll go check that out as we're talking. And I will give another pro as well, that the weather changes. That is nice. Got a couple of different... Well, they've got the desert, and then we've got not desert. That's okay. Let's pull up the map again, see where we're going, but... I think I got turned around a little bit. And also weird, another bad thing, like, it doesn't pop up where you are on the map when you pull up the map, which is just plain weird, right? Go back this way, because I do have some buildings near on the town side. And the music's okay. It is all copyrighted, so I didn't really make any money off the videos doing that. That's okay. I did enjoy my experience. And I kind of wish at times there was a neutral review on Steam. Really, because I don't know, for like, not for the price it sells at regularly, like 26, 30 bucks. No. This is not a $30 game. This is 15 to 20, maybe on a good day. They did try their best. There actually was just a recent update, but I think they have a kind of a skeleton crew on this one now. I can't imagine Toplet spending any more money on this. It has been a net loss for them, I'm pretty positive. But depends on how much they put into it, though, because they say it's sold about 40,000 copies is a good estimate on Steam. Minus Steam's 30%. At the very least, I think they probably broke even. I said the best. And they do have an NPC town here. You build a couple buildings, but it's actually less than what it was initially. It was actually a bigger town. There was a lot more going on. And now it looks a little better, but it's still kind of small. You never really do anything with it. There's a warehouse here as well if you want to transport stuff over there. And let's actually just talk to an NPC. Because it's... Nugger, we'll talk to you. It's the general store guy. Ooh, ew. Easton, how you doing? Take a look at my wares. And basically, the economy is also really, really janky. Because the prices aren't quite like... You could sell a stone knife for like... I think it's like $7 or $8. But like, you can get like regular tools for 23 cents. Like, none of it makes any sense. Like, I don't know if ChatGPT put the prices in or something. But the whole economy is just... It's a weird... It is just very, very weird. Money is not really a priority in this. And I just fell through the floor. Yeah, it's... The problem is, yeah, they fixed some stuff, but it was a habit of... They fixed things. Rebuilt the foundation, which I actually thought was kind of impossible for them. I just thought the game was just too broken. It was just not enough going right. But they fixed a lot of it. But they didn't start from the ground up again. They kind of tried to fix it. And put other things in and do this and that. And it's just kind of a mess, really, at the end of the day. Let's go check my other town. I did try building another full town, as it were. But really, other than doing the main town for the quest line, and the quest line kind of just ends. It actually doesn't finish. Slight spoilers coming up. But you never find your brother. It just, all of a sudden the quest line just stops. It's not finished. It just ends. There's nothing. And when you can get married, you can't have a kid. There's a whole Dynasty section, which doesn't make any sense because you're only going to have one member. You don't have kids. There's a thing for a cradle, but you can't make it. I don't have the recipe. I played this 46 hours. Maybe in the comments, well, you know something I don't, let me know. But yeah, there's nothing here. And let's get into also the skill tree, which is another interesting thing. Because they never finished it. The weird thing is they put spots for stuff, but it just never got done. Weird, right? You think if you're only going to do this amount of skills, you take that away, right? But no. Yeah, so I have like 49 skill points now, and... What is my level 162? I'm not entirely sure we've aged. I couldn't tell you. Let's get the management as well. And they have this whole transport system that just... It's not immersive. It feels silly. I've actually got to transport getting some stones from the mine back to our warehouse. And you don't see it in the game or anything. You can buy it. Costs a little bit of money. I've never had one raided. They say there's a chance, but I never had that happen. Also, bandit raids on the town. Never seen that as well. I don't believe it exists in the game. But yeah, that's just upgrading. We've upgraded the town to max. Nothing happened. Very lackluster. On this one, we can do as well. But in the end, it'll just end up the same way. Not really worth it. Yeah, big map, and I think they would have been better served with a smaller map, but also the caveat, you're going to want to have people kind of in the Dynasty games build a lot of stuff, like Medieval Dynasty, huge map. But there's a lot of, because you'll end up building a couple of villages, other spots, just for mining and other purposes. Yeah, this is the village, the town I built. You don't get to name the town as well. It was just Dusty Gulch. Which is just, I'll build it out here because it's pretty flat by the water. And you have some NPCs running back and forth, and generally they sometimes do some of the work, but then they don't. Like the farming, I haven't been able to, like, I'll put seeds and water in the boxes. I'll do everything else. I just did all the farming myself. It was just too much of a hassle. But overall, to sum it up, this game had potential, but it just got the draw. It would be an interesting story to find out what went wrong. I think overall it just launched to very negative reviews. They spent a lot of time trying to fix it, and I think just resources were not forthcoming for that. And they just tried their best to get 1.0, and it's interesting. Could they ever fix it to be good enough? I think they could, but I don't think they're going to invest the money into it. It wouldn't be worth it at the end of the day, I think, for Toplitz, the publisher. Yeah, you got to make that call. But on a bright note, though, Sengoku Dynasty, I'll be covering that again very shortly. That game is about $30. It might go on sale during early access or when it goes to full release in a couple days here on the 7th. That's a pretty solid Dynasty game. This one is probably the worst and the weakest of the Dynasty kind of franchise, if you will. We'll have to see if Moon Punch Studios gets another shot at another game. We'll have to see. I like some of the things they did. I just wish it went better for them overall. But at the end of the day, I can give a slight recommendation. If you get it cheap on a sale and you know what you're getting into, expect a lot of jank. Nothing's gonna work quite right, but it's an okay time. It's a nice way. I had about 40 hours. I had an alright time. It was okay. But just don't get your hopes up expecting Medieval Dynasty or anything like that nature. I'm gonna starve, but it's okay. Yeah, I've just been talking the entire time so we didn't get anything done. It takes you off the horse a minute to do that too. But overall, yeah. There's much better. Medieval Dynasty, give a total recommendation to Sengoku Dynasty. This one, unless you get it on a cheap sale, I would give it a pass. I don't expect it's gonna get any better. But hopefully I'm wrong. But overall, my average score for this one, sad to say, it's got to be a 5. This is mediocre. It could be a lot better. But there's a lot to fix here. A whole lot. You would have to pull apart it again and start kind of a little bit from scratch. I think if you started here in early access, you would have been in a much better spot, but that wasn't in the cards. So 5 out of 10, mediocre. On the caveat, you would get it, just get it on a sale. It can be some fun to mess around with. But alright, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you guys enjoyed. I will leave a link in the video description if you want to check it out on Steam as well. But I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you soon in Sengoku Dynasty.